All right, good afternoon, my crafty friends. I hope you're having a great day. It is, oh, sorry, I'm just moving my chair around here. It's Wednesday, May 14th, and it has just gone 3 o'clock. I'm a little late in popping on today. Well, just actually 1 minute due to great technology. Yeah, all of a sudden my phone wouldn't work. It said that, I was just reading a text message there, sorry. It said that it couldn't open Judy's paper crafts. I don't know why. I didn't know what was going on. So anyways, I had to turn the whole phone off and start it all over again. First it said I didn't have any internet connection, but my iPad was working fine. I just love technology, don't you? Anyways, all right, I sure hope I'm live. I'm going to see if I can get this to show up on my iPad. Hopefully. Yes, it looks like I'm there. Okay, so good afternoon. All right, so my name is Judy Menlove, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Markham, Ontario, Canada. So I hope you're having a great day. So the only announcement I have for today is just a reminder about the joining offer. So the starter kit is normally $135, and you get $165 worth of product. However, until the end of May, you can get $220 worth of product for $135. Okay, so in other words, if you have a wish list that is $110 or more, but let's just say it's $110, it would cost you, as a regular customer, to place an order with shipping and taxes, it would cost you just over the $135. That is a $110 order, okay? But if you were to take advantage of the joining offer, you would get twice that amount, $220 in product of your choice, for, again, only $135, because there is no tax and no shipping. No tax, at least in Ontario. I'm not sure about the other provinces. Most of them have no tax, but I think there are one or two that do have tax. So anyways, it is a great joining offer. Again, it's $220 for $135. If you'd like more information about it, put something in the comments and I'd be glad to chat with you. There is no obligation. If you decide down the road that you don't want to do this or you don't want any more product, that's fine. It's yours to keep. Okay? And just one more thing to mention then, that if you do join Stampin' Up! And take advantage of this offer, you don't have to sell, you don't have to do anything. There's no obligation. The products are yours, that's it, end of discussion. Plus, for the next 3 months anyways, you will continue to get a 20% discount on anything you order. So to me, it's like a no-brainer. Why wouldn't you want to do this? Everybody has at least $110 worth of product on their wish list, okay? All right, I'm not going to talk about it anymore because I don't want to annoy you. But again, I can't stress enough what a great deal this is. Okay, am I going to turn the camera down? Yeah, I guess I will. Yeah, and then we'll make some cards. I've got some pretty simple cards to do today. And so let's get started. All right, I'm just looking for the button to turn the camera down. There it is. You know, some days, as you know, are better than others. Yeah, we'll put some light on to try and get rid of some of the shadows. Well, the light's going the wrong way. There, that helps. Okay. So let me I had a doctor's appointment today, and I didn't get home until like 2. I'm a little frazzled, as per usual. It seems to me I'm frazzled every, what's today? Every Wednesday. Oh my goodness, it's been a long day, let me tell you. Okay. All right, there we go. I think that is good. So again, my name's Judy Menlove. You can reach me at judyspapercrafts.ca, or you can send me an email at judy@judyspapercrafts.ca. Okay. All right, so what I have here is another one of these little packages. This is actually great for scrapbooking as well. I believe it's probably meant for scrapbooking, but I like them to make cards with. Okay, so this is the Remember This Moment Memories and More card pack. And now I don't remember if it's in the catalog or online. Bear with me just one moment. I do have a sheet here that tells me what, if it's, gives me all my stuff. I had to print it off because I was so confused. I could actually just look in the catalog too. That'll probably be easier. Let me see here. I know, I'm so prepared, right? Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Oh, there it is. Okay, so it is an online exclusive. It was released in the March online exclusive products. Okay, so that's where this came from. So you won't find it in any catalog, only online. So it is Remember This Moment. I'm trying to get this to show up here. Memories and More card pack. Okay, so you get 54 cards in total. And so a bunch of these are 4x6. Okay, so this one says, Oh, Happy Day. So these are like journaling cards as well. For those of you who scrapbook, this is quite pretty. And there's the other side. Okay, so that's one. There's one. When we have each other, we have everything. So that's very nice. And that's on the other side. And then we have this one, which is, again, like a journaling box. And then we have some pretty flowers on the other side. So those are the three. I think you get 6 of each one. So those are the 3 large ones. And the small ones measure 3 inches by 4 inches. So that's one side. Memories are everything. And that's on the other side. Okay, get rid of those. And there's a nice little journaling box. And you've got that on the other side. And these are the ones that I think make great cards. And I will show you some today. You've got this one. This one says it's the little things that matter. Okay, and then you've got a bunch of leaves on the other side. All right, and did I miss one? No. Oh, and then we've got this one. Okay, some nice flowers. And then on the other side is that. And last but not least, we've got this one that says, Remember This Moment. And that's on the other side. All right, so that's what we're going to play with today. We're going to try and make some cards. Well, we're not going to try. We will make cards. Let me just see if I can get that to show up. All right, now I can see the comments. Yay! Hey, Rose. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Maureen. How you guys all doing? Okay, so I was trying to get myself organized just like at 5 to 3. And I think I did like an okay job, but maybe not. We'll see. We'll see. So I'm going to try and whip through a bunch of cards. I've got them all pre-cut. The only thing I'm going to get confused on probably is what stamp set did I get stuff from. But anyways, we'll see. I've got all pre-cut, hopefully. All right. So this is a piece of Lost Lagoon. And it's 8.5 by 5.5, scored a 4 1/4. So we're just going to fold that over. And I do have a bone folder here. We'll give it a nice press. There we go. All right. And then I have a piece of peach pie. And this one measures 3 3/4 by 5. Okay. And I'm just going to glue that on. These are really easy cards, let me tell you. All right, I'm just going to glue that on like that. These are great beginner cards as well. If you're just starting out, this is almost like a kit. All right, this piece is another piece of Lost Lagoon, and it measures 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. And we're just going to glue that one on. Nothing fancy here. Sometimes I just like lots of layers. Okay. And then, like I said, these little cards are 3 inches by 4 inches. but I wanted it to kind of center like this, so I cut 1/4 of an inch off here. Wait a minute. No, I cut the quarter. Just a minute, now I'm confused. 2 3/4. Yes, I cut 1/4 of an inch off here because it would be 3 by 4, and I wanted it 2 3/4 by 4. I'm just frazzled, right? All right. Yeah, we'll just glue that on. I need to put a little more glue on the ends there. I'm not getting it stuck very well. Geez, I didn't even look. I was hoping I put the flowers on the right way and not upside down. All right, then I'm going to take a happy birthday from the Simply Said stamp set. This one here. And I need a block. And again, I put them on an angle. So that way I know that it's up to me to straighten it out. I don't want to assume that I put it on straight. I'd rather just make sure that it's stamped straight. All right, and then I've cut another little piece of peach pie. And this is, what is this? It looks like it's 7/8. It might actually be, it's 3/4 of an inch. 3/4 of an inch. And I'm not worried about how long it is because I'm going to cut it off so that it will be from here to here. So I'm just going to stamp it in the middle and then I'm going to cut it. And I'm going to stamp it in. I was going to use Lost Lagoon, but you know what? I like the Pretty Peacock because it's just a little bit darker, but it's on the same family. But, okay, I was going to say I don't know where my Pretty Peacock is, but I found it. All right. So we'll stamp that and ink that up. I think my Pretty Peacock needs some more ink. That looks okay. All right. And like I said, I'm just going to stamp it in the middle. There we go. Looks pretty darn good if you ask me. Close that up. And I'm just going to kind of figure out where that goes in the middle. I need a pencil. And just going to cut it here and here. That looks good. Okay, bring my trimmer in. Actually, I could have just used my scissors, unless you cut as crooked as I do with scissors. And we'll just snip that one off. And snip this one off. I don't know why I didn't use scissors. Would have been easier. Okay. Look at that. All right, and we're just going to pop that up with dimensionals. I think I'm just going to use the small ones because it's kind of small. I don't know if the big ones will fit. So I'll just make sure I just use the little ones and that will be fine. I'm just going to put, actually I'll put 5 on. Oh. And we'll just pull the backs off. Okay, and you can put this wherever you want. I'm going to put it down here. And I have to hold it up a little bit so I can see if it's straight or not. That looks pretty straight. Okay, and then I've got these, I don't know if they're dressy or druzy embellishments. I don't know how you pronounce that. And where's my thing? There he is. Okay, I'm just going to put a couple of these on. I'm just going to put one here and one over here. And I'm just going to put one up there. There. That's it. So that's one card done. See? Easy peasy with this, right? I'm not doing the insides. I can do them later. And you can put whatever you want, or you may want to leave it blank. All right, so that is card number 1. Card number 2. Let me see, what do I have here? Okay, so this is this one. Oh, I didn't show you this one because this is my last one. I've used all 6 of them. So again, this is Lost Lagoon, and this one is basic beige, and it measures 3.5 by 4.5. Okay, so we're just going to glue this down. And again, I got the colors, all came from what it told me the colors were. All right, as you know, on the back of all of these, it gives you the colors that are in there. So that's where I picked all my colors from. So it just needs to come down. Looks a little crooked. Yeah, too late, glued, done. And then we're just going to put that on there like that. Again, nothing complicated. Very simple. And we'll just put that down like that. And again, I didn't cut this at all. It's a 3x4 size. And then I have this little piece here. And I'm going to use the same happy birthday. So I need to clean this. I'm just trying to, here it is. I was trying to figure out, my glue just fell on the floor. All right, I got it, not to worry. What's this? Yeah, I'm gonna use this one. I'll just clean that up. And this I'm going to stamp in Misty Moonlight to pick up the Misty Moonlight in here. And again, I'm just going to stamp it in the middle because I'm going to cut it. So ink that up. Hey, Jean, how are you? Thanks for joining me today. Okay, we'll stamp that. And I might as well clean this while I think about it in case I need to use it again. There we go. Close this up. And then, where are my scissors? This one, I'm just gonna snip like that and snip like that. Get this out of the way. And I'll use the bigger dimensionals on this one. Put one there. And one there. And one in the middle. Pull the backs off. And then I'm just gonna put it maybe down there. I don't want to block that whole middle flower. So I think I'll just put it here. Just have to move it a little bit so I can see. Move that down. There we go. I don't know. Okay. And then I'm going to use the textured dots. I hope these are all still current that I'm using. So I'm going to use the big ones here. Just going to peel them off. One there. I'll put one there. And then let's put one over down there. Move that a little bit. Nope, too late. He's got glue there. I'm too late with everything today. All right, and that is card number 2. Again, I didn't put, oh, I did. All right, so I just put Time to Celebrate, which is from the Beautiful Butterflies. That one there. Okay, so I haven't glued it in, but anyways, I did that. All right, card number 3. Which one will we do next? I don't seem to be able to find that. Oh, here. here, here, here. No, here, here. Okay. You wouldn't believe the mess I have here. Maybe you would, because you guys all make a mess too, I bet. I'd be very disappointed if you told me that when you create, you don't make a mess. Okay, this is another easy peasy one. So I've got a piece of peach pie, 8.5 by 4.5, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at the 4 1/4. And just gonna take the bone folder. Okay, and then I've got a piece of mossy meadow that's 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and I ran it through. I've already done this. I ran it through the exposed brick embossing folder. Okay. And so we're just going to glue that on. All right, I'm just looking for something. Oh, there it is. Okay. I found it. So we'll just glue that on. Yeah, so this is all, I just wanted a little bit of a border showing. So just 1/8 of an inch. That looks pretty good. Okay, I'll glue that down. And then I've got this one here. It says, remember this moment. Okay, and I think I'll pop that. Oh, here's my dimensionals here. Okay, so we'll pop this one. And again, it's just the card that comes with it. You don't have to cut it. You don't do anything. You just stick it on. I know, here I go again, using up all my dimensionals, right? Okay. Pull the backs off. I filed my thumbnail today, so I can't quite grasp them as I normally do. Okay, we're going to center that as best we can. Now, you can leave that, remember this moment, but I don't want to because I want to do a happy birthday. So I've cut this piece of peach pie that measures 5/8 of an inch by 3 inches. And I'm going to stamp it in, I don't even know what I used. I think I'll use the same one, which was this one, right? Yeah. Which is here. And I'm going to stamp this in the mossy meadow. And I'm going to stamp it over to one side. Like that. There we go. Let me just clean this up. No, my glue fell on the floor again. Don't think it wants me to use it. It keeps falling on the floor. And of course, it fell on the carpet, so now it's got fluffies all over it. Okay, and then I'm just gonna, there we go. Now it won't fall on the floor anymore. I'm just gonna cut a nice little flag here. So we're just gonna cut up the middle and go from the corner to the middle there where it's cut. And again, go from the middle, or from the corner up to the middle where it's cut. There we go. And then I'm just going to put it right on top of Remember This Moment. And I'm not going to pop it up. I'm just going to glue it. And I'm not going to put glue where the flag is because I don't want it to go over that far. All right, that's too much glue there, so I'm just going to use my paper here to take some off and throw that in the garbage. Okay, like that. There we go. Is that straight? Looks pretty straight. There. And actually, you know what? I think I'm just going to take a little mini dimensional, of which I've lost already. Here's one. And I'm just going to stick it under that flag part. So I'm just going to pull the back off and stick it on that. And then just put it there. Well, not there. There. Just hide that. There we go. All right, that's card number 3. We're just whipping through these. Okay, what do we got next? All right, let's try this one. Let's grab everything here. Okay. Yeah, my glue's falling over again. Okay. You just never have enough room here, do you, eh? Oh, I forgot. These are the adhesive back dapple dots, and I'm just going to put some on in the peach. So I think I'm just going to put one up here like that. And I'm going to put a couple of the small ones down here. One there and one there. Well, hello, Lori. I miss crafting with you too. Actually, I haven't talked to you in so long. We need to chat. Okay. What do we have now? Let me move some of this stuff here. Oh, I know. I'm just so disorganized. This little mat here is getting smaller and smaller in my working area. All right, so this card is this pretty in pink. And this is 4 1/4 by 11 and then scored at 5 1/2. All right, and we're going to fold that over. And we'll give it a nice crease. And then I've got a piece of Lost Lagoon that measures 5 1/4 by 4. And we're just going to glue that on. And center it as best you can. All right. And then I lost my piece of paper. Where is my card? Oh, here it is. Okay. So this is one of the larger ones. This is a 4 by 6. And it's got Oh Happy Day on it. And I don't really want that. And this, I want to cover that up. So it's also too big to fit on my card. So I'm going to cut this down to 5 by 3 3/4. And it's 4 by 6. I believe 6, 4, yeah. And I want to make it 5 by 3 3/4. So I think what I'm going to do, 5 by 3, I'm going to cut 1/2 inch. If it's 6 and I want to make it 5, I'm going to cut 1/2 inch off of each side. That's 6 that way, right? Yeah. Well, if not, I have more, so. And we'll cut 1/2 inch off. I'm going to make sure I did this right. That looks pretty good. Okay. And then I need it 3 3/4, and it's 4. So that's 1/8 of an inch off of each side. I think. If I'm wrong, then so be it. Now, you don't have to do that. You could always just, like move this down to the bottom. Doesn't have to be in the middle. Okay, that worked out pretty good. Almost like I knew what I was doing, eh? Okay, and we're just going to glue this one on. Okay. All right, and then I have a piece of pink, Pretty in Pink, that measures 1 1/4 by 3 3/4 to cover that. I wanted something to cover it. So I'm going to stamp that in, also in the Pretty Peacock, because I like it a little bit darker. And I'm going to stamp this. Hang on, it's here somewhere. Here we go. This is from the Notes and Totes stamp set, and I'm going to stamp Sending Warm Wishes. I've used all kinds of stamp sets on this, and it's not in there. Here it is. It's already on my block. Look at that, eh? Okay, so I'm gonna ink this up, and yeah, see what I mean by it's not. I think I need more ink on this ink pad. But for now, I think this will suffice nicely. Okay. And we're going to stamp that kind of in the middle. There we go. All right, and I'm going to do a little bit of a flag on this end as well. So, I don't know, I think that's the middle there. And again, we'll just go from the edge up to where we cut it, and this edge up to where we cut it. There we go. Oh, just need to fix that a little bit. Okay. All right. So, oh, actually, I need a scrap piece of paper here. Let me see. All right, this will do. Okay, so I've got my Pretty Peacock marker. This is not a blend, this is a marker. Okay, and I wanted to just kind of flick this a little bit. You know what? I'm just going to kind of put that up like that. Okay, so I'm just going to flick this a little bit and put, I'm getting it everywhere but where I want. There. Just give it a little bit. All right, can you see that? Boy, my camera sucks. I can't even see it. I'm waiting to see if it's going to show up here, but I'm lagging by quite a bit. Yeah, you can kind of see it. Okay. Good, 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 good. Okay. Yeah, it just looked kind of blah without it, so I just wanted a little bit of something. Okay, so I also have a flower, and that is from, my flower is from the Delightful Wishes. So it's a 2-step stamping, and my leaves are also from there. So my leaves are stamped in, actually I think they're stamped in Lost Lagoon, Lost Lagoon. And then my flower is stamped, the detailed part here is stamped in crumb cake, and the flower itself is stamped in crumb cake as well, but stamped off once. I probably should have showed you that. Now I lost the leaves. Here they are. All right. So, you know what? I'm just going to do a quick thing. Just so I can show you what I did here. And where's my crumb cake? Okay. I'm not going to cut it out or anything. I'll just show you. All right, so I inked it up in the crumb cake. Okay, and stamped it like that. Oh, no, I still need this. And then I took the other part of the flower, inked that up in the crumb cake, There we go, stamped off. All right, and then line this up. Like that, I believe. Hang on, I can't see. I need to pull it towards me. Might be this one. Yeah, I think it's that one there. I go by this little round thing here. You know, the camera's in my way, so I can't see what I'm doing. No, it's this one here. All right. Just line that up as best you can. It's not perfect no matter how hard you try. Okay, so that's the stamped off. And then I just cut it with the appropriate die. Okay. Let me get those out of the way. All right. And then I'm going to pop this up with my dimensionals. So let's put on some of these. And then I'm going to take a couple of mini dimensionals and put them on the flag part so they don't get squished. All right, see if I can do it better with this. Okay, and then we're just going to cover that, and you'd never know it was there. Is that straight? Yep, not bad. Okay, and then I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on my flower. Actually, I'm going to do my leaf first. So a little bit of glue on my leaf. And I'm just going to kind of put that there. Turn it a little more. And then my flower. And just be kind of hanging over like that. I wanted to pick up the beige flowers here. I tried the beige, but it was I didn't like it as well as the crumb cake, so. All right, and then, do I have any, what do I have? Oh yeah, my little two-tone sparkle gems. These, I love these gems, and I have yet to use them because whatever colors I use, they don't go. But I thought these went really well with this. I love these, love these, love these. For some reason, these just caught my eye, and they are just gorgeous. Okay, so I'm just gonna put one up here, and yeah, one down here, and one over there. There we go. Oh yes, and I forgot to say, when I did the flower, I think I showed you this last week or the week before too. I took the this little one, which has got the centers, and it was too hard to stamp. So I just took my marker and just colored this. That way I'm only getting the one rather than all three, and just kind of went like that. Okay. All right, and then just cut that out. All right, so that card is done also. All right, I've got one more for you, and then you can go. Bet you can't wait, eh? Okay. All right, so this one I'm going to use this. I've got stuff everywhere here. Oh, okay. All right. So I have got a piece of 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Give that a nice press. All right, and then I've got, it's gonna go this way. I've got a piece of Calypso coral. I didn't put the measurements on it, but this is 5 1/4 by 4. And we'll just glue this on. go. And then I'm going to take this one and I'm going to cut this into strips. And they're going to be 1 5/8 inch by 3 3/4 each strip. So what I'm going to do first, bring my trimmer in, and I'm going to cut this at 3 3/4. So put that at 3 3/4, and we'll cut that off. And then they're going to be 1 5/8. So I'm just going to turn that because this corner is a little scrunched. So I'm just going to do it this way. So 1 2 3 4 5/8. And you want to make sure you keep them in the same order. 5/8. And 1 5/8. And then this piece, you can just save that, do whatever you want with it. Okay. All right. Now I can turn these around so the flowers are going the right way. And then we're just going to kind of line these up a bit. So I'll start with this one here on the end. And I just got a little bit of glue there that I don't want to seep out. Just going to take that off. Okay, make sure you put your flowers on the right way so they're not upside down. And then I'm going to do the one at the end. I know I should do the one in the middle next, but there. Again, doesn't have to be perfect. As I tell my customers, it's handmade. It's never going to be perfect because it's not machine made. And no matter how many you make, no two will ever be exactly the same. All right, and we'll put that one in the middle. Looks pretty even. There we go. And then I've got a piece here that is 4 1/2 by 1 inch. And on this one, what am I stamping on this one? Time to Celebrate. That is from the Beautiful Butterflies stamp set. Time to Celebrate. Pull that off. Find a block. Almost put that on the wrong way. Let's put that down there. There we go. And I'm going to stamp this in the Mossy Meadow. There we go. And again, I'm going to stamp this right in the middle. That's okay. Time to Celebrate. And I also have, wherever it may be, oh, maybe I lost it, who knows. Like I said, I'm so disorganized, I got so much stuff here. Oh, here it is. The textured notes. Okay, this is a great stamp set if you don't have this. I'm just going to use this little guy here. And we'll put him on a block. Put him on. And then I'm going to ink this up. I'm going to bring that scrap piece of paper back. Okay. And then I'm just going to put some flowers here. Or some leaves, just like that. A little bit of ink up there. And we're just going to do that like that. There we go. Just to give a little bit of interest. All right. Okay, get rid of this. We'll pull this one back in. Got sticky notes stuck to everything. And we're going to just pop that up with dimensionals that I keep losing. Here they are. All right. And pull the backs off. Come on. And then we'll just add that. I guess let's put it in the middle. Again, you can put it wherever you want. I'm just going to put mine in the middle. I don't seem to be able to get this one straight. There we go. Okay, and then for some embellishments, I've got the Pearl Trio. And these are Calypso Coral, Misty Moonlight, and Petunia Pop. So we're going to use some Calypso Coral. Let's put one up there. And we'll put one over there. And then we'll just put one in the middle. So each panel has got one. And that's that card. All right, so we get all this stuff out of the way here. Let's see if I flatten that down. All right, so we've got that card, and we've got this one, and we've got this one, and we've got this one, and we've got this one. So we've got 5 cards we made. Okay, so it took, close to an hour. But that's not bad for 5 cards, right? All right, so that's what I've got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed that. And again, this little packet is called Remember This Moment, Memories and More Card Pack. So again, if you want some quick cards, there you go. You don't have to, this one is like plain. This one is plain. This one has been put through the embossing folder. This one has some die cuts on it. But other than that, you don't need a cut and emboss machine or anything. You can just, use your trimmer and put these cards together. Okay, that's it, guys. Thanks very much for joining me today. I do appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule. And I will see you back here next Wednesday at 3 o'clock. All right, take care. You have a wonderful week and a long weekend. Enjoy your long weekend, ladies. All right, talk to you later. Bye-bye.